Hello everyone and welcome back to Send It's Weather channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest from the models and have a look at the trend for the next week to 2 weeks. We'll be having a look at the American, the GFS, the GEM, the ECMWF and the Ensembles. We'll have a look at the UK Metaphys as well and the Icon to see the current trends. Now what I will say is, compared to last night's video, the uncertainty has gone like this, as expected, and there is basically a complete mishmash of ideas for the next, even up to about day 5 is uncertain. So we'll just get straight on with it. And also, thank you very much to everyone for the support and lovely messages on last night's video. I really appreciate it. So we're doing the morning update. This is from the latest 6 edge suites. We've got the GFS up first. As you can see, by Wednesday the 12th of Feb, we have high pressure beginning to ridge to our north and east, and we have low pressure to our east as well, bringing in the wind from a colder, but not particularly cold, easterly wind with the -5 line through the country, bringing a few snow showers into the east and southeast there. Could be a few wintry showers, obviously it's going to be quite marginal. Now, by this stage, there is already uncertainty because this low pressure is spinning up in the Atlantic, and the GFS has gone with the idea of spinning it up to 970 millibars and toppling the high, as you'll see here. The high looks much better than on the midnight run here. As you can see, the high's already been broken apart on the midnight run, but on the 6Z it is much stronger, so there is steps in the right direction from the GFS. However, that low does topple it, so instead of going cold, and you can see the block's still to our north towards Greenland by Sunday the 16th, you've got the high pressure to our north, but the low pressure's broken through, a deep area of low pressure from the Atlantic broken through, and then we go into a very unsettled spell of mild, wet and windy weather. So that is not a great run if you want your coldy weather. But again, this low, I just feel is being spun up too much in the Atlantic. I feel like the GFS has massively overdone it. It likes to spin up lows too much than they should be, really. It does like to spin up lows in the Atlantic. Of course, it can't be ruled out as a potential option, but at the moment, I would discount it unless it had support, which, I'm about to see. I want to show this off first, and this is why I think we have a very good chance of seeing something quite cold. If we have a look at the Arctic Oscillation and the North Atlantic Oscillation, you can see that both are expected to trend quite well. The AO is expected to transfer quite negative, which increases the chance of blocking and cold block. There we go. Increase the chance of a block to our north, either Greenland, Iceland, or Scandinavia, or all three. And increase the chance of colder air sinking southwards from the east, the northeast, or the north, and prevents the Atlantic from breaking through if the block's strong enough. This is what the ECM12Z last night was going for, but as you can see, the signal is for it to the AO to go properly negative, or negative, and the NAO to go slightly negative. There's still a lot of scatter. If we can get rid of these positive anomalies and keep the negative anomalies, then that could trend negative as well. I think this is where the issue lies. The NAO is not properly negative, it's kind of neutral or weakly negative. We need to see it down to at least -1 to increase the confidence on a cold spell, but I do think we will see that. Hint. Now if we have a look at the GFS ensembles, they are just updating. As you can see, we'll put it on here for Barnsley, for my place. As you can see, I mean, past about day 4, there's a massive amount of scatter. There's colder runs and milder runs, some going down to -10 and some going up to +5. I mean, there's a massive scatter. I mean, it's very uncertain. The number of these GFS runs spinning up these lows is incredible. There's a massive split though, but you can see there's a lot of milder runs appearing, which is a problem, which is spinning up that low like the GFS did. Now, if we have a look at the GFS mean, which is all of them runs combined together, you can see that it does have that high pressure going up to our north, but many of the runs with this low topple the high, and it doesn't make it fully to It doesn't penetrate towards Greenland and topples southwards, keeping us quite cold, frosty, but not snowy, not wintry, not anything like that really. So therefore, it's a bit of a problem we're having with the GFS at the moment, but it's not just the GFS. The GEM is next on the list. The GEM again shows that high pressure moving to our northwards. Looks much stronger, doesn't it, with the GEM? And does build to a certain extent. And we have a proper battleground scenario going on with the low pressure to our south and west trying to break through, a block towards Greenland, a weak block towards Greenland, and cold air to our northeast. With this, though, the Atlantic's going to win out because you can see it's struggling against the cold block, but it has broke through. You can see the milder air is wrapped in. But look how close we are to the bitterly cold air. Subtle shifts from the models could change things massively. I'll show you my prediction at the end. And if you enjoyed today's video, then please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you understand what I'm saying, and I'm trying to explain myself a bit better than usual. We'll have a look at the ECM next. This went for a beast for the 12Z yesterday, which I showed on yesterday's video. There's that block. Weakens under the low, but we do keep it cold for many parts of central and northern England until the Atlantic breaks through. Could be a snow event there, transition from cold to mild. Then the lows on a northwest-southeast alignment drags the cold air back in for a time. So it's not too bad with the ECM, but then it does go unsettled at the end. Remember, a lot of these runs at the end of them like to return to the typical mild westerly pattern. But it's not too bad that the blocking is not really there. There's a weak block which is shoving the jet stream further southwards into Spain, France and Portugal. But it's not great blocking to our north. You can see the block is there, but it kind of gets weakened by the Atlantic, shoving it away, going bye-bye block, you are getting the unsettled weather. We have a look at the UK Met. This is the best of the bunch, if we go to the midnight run. You can see that this one has the block building to our north and sustains the block to the north. This looks quite cold, and the -10 lines into the southeast. The UK Met's the best run of the bunch, with the -10 line into the southeast. It's not got a bad verification rate, the UK Met, by any means, but it's not the best. But maybe this could be the underdog model, which gets it right. The block still remains to our north and west with the UK Met. It's kind of like a mid-Atlantic ridge up towards Greenland, blocking off the Atlantic, and we're bringing in the winds from a cold easterly from Scandinavia and the Nordic regions. With the -5, -10 into the far southeast. Pretty cold. If you have a look at the ECM ensembles then, you can see there is a lot of scatter with these as well. Some extremely cold runs, -10 and below, between the 16th and the 19th of Feb. A lot of them down there. There's also a few milder runs as well in the mix. A lot of milder runs. Still some colder runs though, so they can't be discounted. It's a massive amount of uncertainty. Haven't seen uncertainty like this in a long time. But let's hope that the cold wins out for some of us. But some of you will want the mild, I'm sure. Final model we'll look at then is the Icon 4. We'll have a look at the latest, see what it's showing. Now this looks a lot better from the Icon 6Z, because it only goes out to 5 days, is the maximum. But the heights are built much stronger to our north and west. The low pressure's still there in the Atlantic, but it's held out by a stronger block, but it is weakening quite quickly, this block. If I compare it to the midnight run, the midnight run had the cold air in. It had the block properly sustained there. We're about to unleash the beast from the east with the Icon midnight run. The 6Z does look a little less strong, but you never know. There could be some warm air evection, which powers it back up. If we can just get rid of this pesky low in the Atlantic and shove it away, get out of here, not develop it as much like the GFS is doing, then we could be on to a winner. What's my official thoughts then? This is what you've all been tuned in for, and subscribe if you think my thoughts are good, and like the video. Let's hope we get this one right, everyone. Well, what I think is that we will see the potential between, and I'll show you on my Twitter post actually, we are going to see a significant cold spell from around the 17th of Feb, which will have decent snowfalls in places. Daytime temperatures will not rise above freezing in many parts of the country. It will be prolonged. Exact timings unknown. Exactly. There you go. That's my thoughts. What do you think to that one, everyone? Hope you all enjoyed this video. All aboard the uncertainty train with the Send It gang. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.